It's Fact or Fiction. We are looking into yet another claim that The Simpsons predicted the future. In this case, the Astroworld Music Festival, which appears to show various Springfield residents next to a monument of musician Travis Scott.
The Simpsons have made some shockingly accurate predictions before, but what they hinted at for 2026 is next-level scary. From global conflicts and space missions to solar cars, AI takeovers, and environmental disasters. It's starting to feel like their episodes were more prophecy than parody. Most of these predictions are unbelievable, but already playing out before our eyes. Want to find out what these predictions are? Join us as we break down some of the Simpsons predictions for 2026, an escalated US-China clash. This one hits a little differently. In a past episode of The Simpsons, Lisa becomes president after Donald Trump, and one of her biggest problems is dealing with a huge national debt owed to China. The episode doesn't show a war, but the tension is there, and it feels heavy. Now, it's starting to look way too close to what's really happening. The United States and China have been in multiple standoffs this year. It's not an official war, but it sure feels like we're getting closer to something that could spiral out of control. There have been arguments over Taiwan, military drills in the South China Sea, and both countries are moving more troops and ships into the region. On top of that, they're fighting over tech too. The US is limiting the export of key tech like microchips, and China is doing the same in return. That's not just bad for business, it's increasing the tension. Here's where it gets a little too on the nose. Donald Trump is back in office in 2026. Just like in the episode. He's already making some bold moves in foreign policy, including decisions that could really upset China. Add in things like the surveillance balloon the US shot down not long ago, and you start to see a pattern. One small incident, a miscommunication or an accident, could spark something much bigger. Experts are saying that 2026 could be a make-or-break year. Either things calm down or they get a whole lot worse. It's not just about politics anymore. It's about real people, real risks, and what could happen if cooler heads don't prevail. What's crazy is that The Simpsons didn't show tanks or bombs. They just showed a warning that if things aren't handled carefully, even something like debt or pride could turn into disaster. And now, here we are, watching those same problems play out in real life. It's one thing to make jokes about the future. It's another thing when those jokes start feeling like news headlines. This prediction isn't funny anymore. It's something the whole world is watching. Many want this next prediction to come true. Colonizing Mars. In an old Simpsons episode, Lisa decides she wants to move to Mars. Not visit, not go on a short trip. She signs up for a one-way mission. That means once she gets there, she's not coming back. Marge freaks out about it. And in true Simpsons fashion, the whole family ends up signing up for the mission just to keep Lisa from going alone. Sounds like a funny cartoon idea, right? But now, the whole Mars thing is not just a joke anymore. SpaceX has said that 2026 is the year they're aiming to launch their first uncrewed Starship mission to Mars. That's not decades away, that's next year. Elon Musk and his team have been working for years to make this happen. And they've even picked this year because of a special window where Earth and Mars are lined up perfectly. If the launch is a success, it's a huge step toward putting humans on Mars for real. It gets even crazier. There are people out there who have already signed up to go. Back when Mars One was active, over 20,000 people volunteered to go on a one-way ticket. That means they're ready to leave Earth for good. They want to help build the first colony, live there, and maybe even die there. Meanwhile, scientists are already running experiments on Earth to test what life on Mars would look like. In places like Hawaii and the Arctic, researchers are living in sealed domes, growing food in simulated Martian soil, and testing 3D printed habitats. Everything from farming to bathroom breaks is being studied to prepare for a future where Mars is home. In The Simpsons, they joked that humans would make it to Mars by 2026. At the time, it sounded crazy. But now, it doesn't seem so far off. The tech is catching up, the people are getting ready, and the money is pouring in. So, when someone says, The Simpsons predicted the future again. Maybe they're not wrong. If things go the way SpaceX is planning, 2026 could be the year we stop talking about going to Mars and actually start doing it. Solar cars are finally hitting the road. In that episode where Lisa built a solar-powered car, most people probably thought it was just another funny idea from The Simpsons. She entered it in a race, the thing was speeding ahead, and then, just before the finish line, a Duff beer blimp blocked the sun, and her car rolled to a stop. Classic Simpsons moment, everyone laughed, and her invention didn't get the credit it deserved. Well, no one is laughing at the idea of solar cars anymore. The launch of real solar-powered cars is officially happening. A company called Aptera is rolling out its solar vehicle, and it's doing something wild. It can travel up to 40 miles a day just from sunlight. No gas, no plugging in, just sitting in the driveway and soaking up the sun. And on a full charge, it can go up to 400 miles. That's enough to do your daily driving for weeks without needing to stop at a charging station. Lightyear, another company in the game, is releasing its own solar electric car too. The Lightyear 2 is promising over 500 miles of range, and that includes miles powered by sunlight alone. These cars aren't science fiction anymore. They're being built, sold, and hitting the roads. Even Tesla might be jumping in. Rumors are flying around about solar features being added to the Cybertruck. It's not confirmed yet, but the fact that people are even talking seriously about solar charging for trucks says a lot about where we're heading. Of course, solar cars still have a few issues. If it's cloudy or nighttime, they're not going to run forever without help from regular charging. But the idea of the sun helping power your car every day? That's actually happening now. Just like in that Simpsons episode, there are still things getting in the way, such as bad roads, outdated tech, and yeah, no beer blimps yet, but maybe billboards and overhead wires causing problems. Still, Lisa's vision is becoming real. People laughed back then. They're not laughing now. So yeah, 2026 is looking like the year solar cars finally get their moment, and The Simpsons were, once again, ahead of the game. Virtual reality everywhere. Back in 2016, The Simpsons showed us something that looked like a joke at the time. Everyone in Springfield had strapped on these chunky VR headsets and completely checked out of the real world. Even Homer was slurping virtual fudge while lying on the couch, totally zoned out. People were walking into traffic, bumping into walls, and acting like the real world didn't even matter anymore. Now fast forward to our current time, and that's not just a cartoon anymore. It's actually happening. Companies like Apple, Meta, and Samsung are in a race to take over your face with the next big thing in virtual reality. Apple kicked things off with the Vision Pro, but now Meta is launching the Meta Quest 4, and Samsung isn't far behind with their own headset. The weird part is, it's no longer just about gaming. People are actually going to meetings, attending school, even taking vacations, all while wearing these headsets. Some people are even eating in virtual reality. Yes, virtual reality dining is real, and cruise lines like Royal Caribbean are testing it out to turn meals into digital trips. But here's where things get strange. You've probably seen the videos. People walking down the street wearing virtual reality headsets, waving their arms around, completely unaware they're about to crash into a signpost or fall down a flight of stairs. And remember that final scene in the Simpsons episode? The one where Springfield turns into a ghost town, but everyone is still there, just staring into their headsets? That's what downtowns in some cities are starting to look like. Crowded streets, but no one's really there. The numbers are just as shocking. Experts are saying the virtual reality industry could be worth $38 billion in 2026. That's not science fiction anymore, it's business, big business. The scary part is that a lot of people don't even seem to care what's real anymore. They'd rather be in the fake world, living out some fantasy where they look better, feel better, and never have to deal with actual people. We hope this next prediction doesn't come true. An environmental disaster. In the Simpsons movie, Homer causes one of the worst disasters Springfield has ever seen, all because of a pig. He dumps a bunch of pig waste straight into the town's lake, even after being told not to. What happens next is a full-on environmental meltdown. The lake turns toxic, animals start mutating, and things get so bad that the whole town gets sealed under a giant glass dome. Back then, it was played for laughs. But now, it's starting to feel like a warning we didn't take seriously. Currently, the planet is dealing with environmental problems that sound less like fiction and more like a ticking clock. Wildfires are burning longer and hotter than ever, with entire regions choking on smoke. Floods are hitting cities that never used to worry about rising water. Massive storms are happening more often, and they're hitting harder. Sea levels are still creeping up, and places like Miami, New York, and Jakarta are already spending billions trying to keep the water out. And it's not just the weather. Microplastics, the stuff you get when plastic breaks down into tiny pieces, have been found in fish, in drinking water, and even inside the human body. Scientists have discovered them in bloodstreams, lungs, and yes, even in human placentas. It sounds insane, but it's real. In the cartoon, the town was sealed off under a dome because of pollution. In the real world, cities are already building seawalls and climate bunkers to try and stay safe. It's not a glass bubble, but it's not far off either. Just like in the movie, a lot of the damage is coming from people and companies not cleaning up after themselves. Polluting industries keep dumping waste into rivers, oceans, and the air. Most of the time, the fines they pay are tiny compared to the damage they cause. The Simpsons made it funny, but 2026 is shaping up to be anything but. Their joke about pollution and panic might turn out to be a lot more accurate than anyone expected. Maybe it's time we stopped laughing and started paying attention. AI and robots taking our jobs. There's this episode from 2012 where Mr. Burns fires all the workers at the nuclear plant and replaces them with robots. At first, it's all about saving money and keeping things efficient. But pretty quickly, the robots start doing everyone's job in Springfield, not just at the plant. The town falls apart because nobody has work anymore. It seemed like a silly cartoon story at the time, but now it feels more like a preview of where we're heading. Fast forward to the present, and we're watching this play out in real life. Robots and AI are replacing workers in all kinds of industries. Big warehouses are testing fully automated systems where machines handle everything, from stacking shelves to packing boxes. Some McDonald's locations in the US have gone mostly staff-free, using AI to take orders and robots to make food. And now, it's not just physical jobs. Chatbots are doing customer service, writing emails, answering support tickets, and even helping companies make marketing plans. Writers and artists have started speaking up. Last year's Hollywood strikes were partly about AI. Creators were worried studios would use AI to write scripts or generate performances. It's not just actors and writers feeling the pressure. Even coders, designers, and online content creators are wondering if their jobs are safe. What's wild is The Simpsons called this over a decade ago, and not just once. Another episode from the 90s showed a robot theme park that was supposed to be safe. But then one small glitch caused the robots to go off script and attack people. It started with one camera flash and turned into a full-blown mess. Sure, that sounds dramatic, but even now, people are raising the same concerns. Some AI systems have already made weird, even alarming statements. Experts like Elon Musk and Jeffrey Hinton are warning that AI could go too far if we're not careful. Machines aren't just helping us, they're starting to replace us. The Simpsons didn't just make a joke, they predicted something a lot closer to home than we thought. Holograms are the new text message. Remember when holograms felt like something from a sci-fi movie? Not anymore. The Simpsons might have just nailed another one. In that episode where Bart's older and washed up, he gets a gig invite, not through email or phone, but through a hologram. That moment feels like a sneak peek of real life in the future. Holograms have quietly started showing up in more places. Last year, ABBA pulled off an entire concert in London as holograms. People paid full ticket prices to see 3D versions of the band perform live, and they looked shockingly real. Since then, the tech has moved even faster. Now, you can walk into certain tech stores and actually see 3D holographic displays just floating in midair. Some of them are used for ads, while others are showing off products like smartwatches and phones. But it's not just for music or marketing anymore. Companies like Proto are setting up machines that let you talk to a full-size 3D person inside a glass box. Imagine FaceTiming your friend, but instead of a flat screen, they show up standing right in front of you in 3D. It's not just in tech labs either. Some malls already have them. Even Amazon is working on holographic customer service booths. Zoom, they've started testing holographic meeting calls, and people in the business world are taking it seriously. Some classrooms and hospitals are even using them now. Teachers are using 3D holograms to teach science. Surgeons are testing holograms to plan out complicated procedures. This stuff isn't perfect yet, but it's getting close. At this rate, sending someone a hologram birthday message might actually happen in 2026. What's wild is that The Simpsons made this look normal years ago. A cartoon from the early 2000s basically predicted that by 2026, we'd be swapping regular texts for floating 3D messages. If this keeps going, the idea of someone saying "smell you later" through a hologram might not seem so strange. This final prediction can have serious implications. Out of control self-driving cars. This one feels way too close to real life. In a Simpsons episode, Homer and Marge get a self-driving car. At first, it's smooth, no stress, no road rage, just sit back and enjoy the ride. But then the car starts doing its own thing. It stops listening, it makes weird choices, and suddenly, it's not fun anymore. In the present day, that doesn't sound like a cartoon. It sounds like what's actually happening on the streets. Right now, we've got companies like Waymo, Cruise, Tesla, and even Sony teaming up with Honda to put self-driving cars on public roads. Some of them already are. You've probably seen the videos. No driver in the front seat, just people sitting there like passengers in a robot taxi. But the problem is, they don't always work the way people expect. In San Francisco, there have already been crashes involving these robo-taxis. One incident got a lot of attention when a cruise car failed to stop in time and dragged a pedestrian. Some cities even stopped these cars from running altogether after that. Tesla's autopilot has also come under fire. People think the name means the car can drive itself fully, but that's not really true. There have been several fatal accidents because drivers assumed the car could handle everything and took their hands off the wheel. What's scary is that these systems don't always see things the way we do. Some reports say the cars struggle to detect people wearing dark clothes or headphones. Others mention the software getting confused at busy intersections or making sudden decisions that don't make any sense to a human. The Simpsons didn't show a full-on car crash, but they showed the exact feeling people are having now, losing control and not knowing what the car will do next. That feeling is becoming real as more of these cars hit the road. Governments are working on rules, but the tech is moving fast, maybe faster than the safety laws can keep up. Once again, The Simpsons got there first. What started as a joke about lazy driving is turning into a real-world warning. The cars are driving themselves, but maybe we shouldn't be so quick to sit back and relax. Which of these predictions sounds unbelievable? Kindly share your answers, thoughts, and opinions in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel to enjoy more videos like this. Also, click the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.